Personally, I like virtual meetings. I've worked mostly from home for, well, nearly a decade, and I'm pretty sure I've used most every application that's out there. In the past few weeks, virtual meetings have become part of our daily lives. But all too often, I'm asking myself, do these folks know what they look like in the meeting? Do they care? There's a lot of really great advice out there about how to be more effective now that we're working from our spare bedroom or the kitchen table or our unfinished basement. But I can't believe how awful people look in live meetings. I mean, I don't know about you, but for me, it's really hard to pay attention when all I see is the top of somebody's head or I'm looking up their nose. So I got to thinking, why not apply what we know from video production to live meetings? I want you to think about, how do others see you when you pop up on their screen? No matter the camera, the hardware, or the software, how do you look your best? I'm going to talk about 3 simple things you might want to think about before you join your meeting. The first is proper lighting. Second is proper audio. And the last is, well, proper camera placement. After that, I'll touch on just a few simple little things that'll help you look your best. One of the things I learned in film class is that the height of the camera in relationship to the height of the subject, the thing you're shooting, well, that dynamic, it gives information to a viewer about how they're supposed to feel about that subject. To put it another way, one example is a camera that's up too high makes the subject, in this case me, look rather powerless. I sometimes think it looks like surveillance footage from a convenience store. What's that, ma'am? No, I'm sorry, the Slurpees are $1.89. A camera that's too low, well, the shot can look a little menacing. Plus, you run the risk of people just looking up your nose or at your ceiling. And when you're too far away, it makes it difficult for people to pay attention to what you have to say. This is where you want to put your camera. You want to adjust the lens of your camera so that it's level with your eyes. The odds are you're going to need to improvise a better location for your camera. If you're using a laptop, the first thing you need to do is, well, find the camera. Usually you'll find it in the frame of the lid somewhere near the top of the screen. The next thing you want to do is you want to raise it up so that it's even with your eyes. I'll sometimes use a box or a stack of books to raise it up so that I'm looking directly into the camera. If you're using a web camera, rather than just putting it on top of the monitor, think about attaching it to something else, like a lamp or, even a vase. Something that gets it up higher, closer to eye line. The one thing you want to do, though, is make certain it's level. And pay attention to the background of your shot. Sure, you can add a custom background. No. Oh, hell no. Instead, I like to use my environment as a way to give others an idea of where I am and what's important to me. It might be a nice place in the house or here in my home office. No matter the location, pay attention to what others are going to see in your background. A pile of laundry or a whiteboard with confidential information, it's not ideal. The dog might be cute, but it's also distracting. And there he goes. Now that you've figured out where to put your camera, where do you put you? Be aware the lenses on these cameras, well, they're pretty wide angle. And if you get too close, what folks will remember most from the meeting, it'd be your giant nose. So remember, don't put the camera too high, not too low, not too close, not too far, just a nice head and shoulders. Fill the frame. Something else to pay attention to is your lighting. These cameras are going to automatically adjust the exposure, the brightness of your image based on the brightest thing in your shot. You want that to be your face, but all too often people include like a bright window behind them or the room is just too dark. Fixing bad lighting doesn't have to be difficult. Just remember, you don't want the light behind you. So in this case, I've got a big window with indirect sunlight. I don't want it on my back or to the side. Instead, I want to turn and face the light. It'll give me a much better shot. If you don't have a window, a simple light or desk lamp above and behind the camera will do wonders. What's also bad is when the only light on your face comes from the blue light of the screen. Doesn't look right. Remember, you want your face to be the brightest part of the frame and center everything up. Your lens, your light, yourself, all in the center. Another advantage of sitting close to your web camera is when you talk, people will hear you clearly, or at least clearer than when I'm over here. I sound bad because I'm too far away from the microphone. The microphones that you'll find in laptops and on web cameras, well, they capture sound all around, and they automatically adjust their sensitivity to the loudest thing they hear, which right now is me talking. Because I'm close, my voice is nice and clear. When I'm this far away, the microphone has to increase its sensitivity in order to be able to capture what I'm saying. Unfortunately, that means it boosts all the other sounds in the room, like air conditioning, the fan on my computer, outside noise, a noisy refrigerator, other people in the house, and here, where your voice echoes all around the room. Okay, I get it. You're not going to hold your live meeting from the bathroom. At least I hope not, because really, nobody wants to see that. My point here is many kitchens and living rooms and dining rooms, well, they're nothing but hard surfaces. And when you talk, your voice gets lost in all the reverberations around the room. When you are on a laptop, you may have another problem. And that's because the microphone on many laptops is really close to the keyboard. So when the microphone automatically adjusts for the loudest sound, it may not be your voice. It may be the sound of you typing. What's the solution? Well, if you're using the microphone that's in your webcam or on your laptop, then you want to turn and face the microphone when you're talking. A better solution is an external microphone. USB headsets can sound great, but they get a little uncomfortable over time, and honestly, you look a bit like you're doing customer service for the cable company. If you're comfortable setting up something that's a little more complicated, you could use a USB microphone. This one I'm pretty sure dates to the dark ages. Some computers have an external microphone jack, and they allow you to plug in a microphone like this inexpensive lavalier. And some Bluetooth devices that connect to your computer have microphones built right in. While these different accessories are interesting, it's probably not realistic you're going to hang any of them off your computer. So let's keep it simple. Always stay as close as you can to the microphone on your computer and pay attention to the sound that's all around you. If it's noisy, close the window or maybe move to another location. Let's wrap this video up with a few quick things to remember before you join a live meeting. First of all, pay attention to what you're wearing. I know it's tempting to hang around all day in a tank top or a sweatshirt. At least wear a shirt or a top your mom would like. And your mom was right about one other thing: sit up straight. And don't eat unless that's the reason for the meeting. If your shot seems a little fuzzy or smudgy, check the lens. It can be a magnet for fingerprints and goo. If you can, connect with a cable rather than Wi-Fi. Think of it as the difference between a drinking straw and a garden hose. Virtual meetings require a lot of data. And if you're connected via Wi-Fi, think drinking straw, your computer has to compress that data down in order to fit it through the little pipe. If you connect via hardwire, you're able to pass a lot more data, getting a better video. Finally, as tempting as it is to talk to all those faces that are on your screen, remember, they're not your camera. If the point you need to make is really important, be sure to look right at the camera. That way you'll establish eye contact. So let's wrap things up here with a little recap of the 3 things you'll probably want to consider before you join your next virtual meeting. Number 1, make certain your camera is level with your eyes. Number 2, always face your light source. And number 3, stay close for the best audio. If you found this video helpful, I'd love it if you gave it a thumbs up. If you have a question or a comment about your experience with virtual meetings, I'd love to read about it in the comments below. And if you'd like more tips or information about creating great online video, I'd love it if you would consider subscribing. Oh, wait a minute. There's one more thing that I haven't mentioned that I absolutely love about virtual meetings. Frankly, it's the thing no one will admit to. So with that, I think I'm going to go get another cup of coffee. Thanks for watching.